everyone, welcome back. It's time for another bold and beautiful episode recap. Today's date, September 2nd, 2021, and I'm not even gonna mince words with you. What an absolute shit show. Let's get into it. The day starts with Paris and Finn in a very sweaty embrace. Let's talk a little bit about this. First, Finn is in a guest bedroom belonging to a huge compound on the top of a Malibu multi-million-dollar mansion. And not even on today's episode, but yesterday, he's crouched down in front of a fan trying to get air, and we find out that there's no air conditioning in their guest bedroom. Huh? I don't know why Finn is crouched down in front of this fan. He looks like he's in the bedroom above an old saloon in Havana, Cuba. Anyway, he's sweating profusely, and we can't figure out whether it's because of climate change or a cheesy plot device so that Paris can come in and see him shirtless. After Paris and Finn manage to pull away from each other, they begin this conversation that we really need to get into. So let's examine every maddening line. First thing out of Paris's mouth is,
I think Steffi is overreacting.
I think so too, but it's not Paris's place to say that to Steffi's husband, especially after Steffi opened up her home to her and basically said, you know what, you're having a little problem finding a one-bedroom apartment on the west side, even though you are compensated handsomely by the Forrester Foundation. But in any event, I've got a spare guest bedroom that you can crash on. Feel free, be my guest. What's mine is yours. And she repays Steffi by telling Finn that his wife is overreacting. That's number one. She claims to care about both Finn and Steffi, and yet she's not offering this type of advice to Steffi.
Steffi and you met way before my time in LA.
That part. I heard these stories. I may not have met you guys from the beginning, but I heard these stories and I know about your love. No, you don't. You don't know anything, little girl. And yet you think that you have the authority to comment on their marriage and what their next step should be? Bish, is you crazy? And Finn, the goofball, actually says, yeah, please be my guest. Have an opinion on my marriage, even though you don't know me and my wife that well. Please, the floor is yours.
It's not right of her to punish you. Have you staying here?
Be that as it may, you still are not in a position to comment on that. Over at the main house, we have that dummy. That's right, I said it. That dummy, Steffi, talking to Ridge about not signing the marriage certificate. Here's a sad part about her taking this kind of stand. By pushing Finn away into the guest house, whatever it may be, she's basically ostracizing her own husband. And the very thing that she fears the most, which is Finn being manipulated by his mother, is going to happen if she pushes him out there to just be vulnerable and open to Sheila. That's not what you want, sis, so you shouldn't have kicked him out of your house. All right, Finn's now out of the home. And she keeps talking to Finn and saying, you don't know what she's like. How can Finn know what his mother is like when he has no perspective? He doesn't know her. He only knows her based on other people's opinions, right? So why don't you keep him close and then tell him, remind him every single day, hey, I just want to let you know, honey, your mom's a psychopath. Hey, hon, can you pick up some milk? And please don't forget that your mom's a murderer. Little things like that, because, husbands tend to forget. Anyway, let's move on.
I'm not going to let anything come between us.
Except for the huge wall that you just put up between the both of you by kicking him out of your house and refusing to sign the marriage certificate. I don't know how the hell Finn kept his cool in that situation. Liam has broken her trust for 10 years repeatedly, and she kept taking him back. But Finn, you know what? You're dead to me. I hope he remembers this shit. And at this point, Finn is on my shit list too, because he loves this woman so much that he's just willing to let her walk all over him. Like, come on, bruh. Stand up and be a man about it. Be like, no, I'm not leaving this house. This is my house. Or at the very least, you go, okay, I'll give you 24 hours to think about it. But to be banished into the guest house with no air conditioning indefinitely while she figures it out. And then she tells him, I can't think about anything else. All I can think about is Sheila. What's that got to do with me? You and I had a baby together. And she admits that it's not his fault that Sheila is his mother. And yet she can't deal with him because Sheila is his mother. This double talk just drives me crazy. I'm really trying with this show, but I feel like sometimes I'm going mad. Over at Forrester, Carter and Quinn find themselves in the executive suite, burning with white hot heat for each other. In other words, nothing has changed. They're still very much attracted to each other. But somehow, and I don't know why, Carter felt the need to say this.
I can't imagine what it feels like to be back in your husband's arms.
Why would you want to put yourself through that torture to even say, you know what, it must have been great. You being in your husband's arms again. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. It's not your job to imagine, bruh. I don't know what kind of man. I mean, maybe you, listen, shut me down if you need to. Prove me wrong. Say something. Jump up in the comments. Say something. Can you envision any man saying this to his ex-lover, especially somebody who he feels deeply for? We should have seen Carter visibly grappling with the idea of Quinn reuniting with Eric, this woman that he loves so passionately, that he's told us over and over again that he's never felt like this ever before. Something, give us something other than Carter being this like this lapdog yes man who is just, I love you so much, Quinn, and I just want you to be happy with Eric, and I completely understand. Meanwhile, he's working in the same office with Quinn and Eric, the two people who he nearly imploded their marriage, the one woman that he loves more than anything, and he has to see and interact with her every day. And you're telling me that he's not struggling with that more than just, I miss you, Quinn. That's all he's got to say. That's all his emotions. I miss you, Quinn. Weird. Later, Shauna comes in looking for Flo. This is the second person that's been looking for Flo over the past 2 days. Where's Flo? Who cares? Flow away. We're glad that she's off canvas because she was extremely boring. She and Wyatt are so flat together. Okay, nobody cares. Shauna comes in looking for Flo. Of course, she interrupts Carter and Quinn in a very interesting moment. She casts judgment on them. Carter leaves. And then she's like digging into Quinn about, hey, do you think this is the best idea? You being behind closed doors with Carter? I don't know. And, of course, she's perfectly right about that. But I love the part where Quinn says, what are you, the door police? And I wish I could jump in and go, no, that's actually Paris. Paris is the door police. And Brooke. And Katie. God, if another secret is revealed through a door, and I don't even know why I'm saying that because I know Bold and the Beautiful, that's their go-to. So I'm wasting my breath here. But anyway, Quinn tells Shauna finally about Eric's little guy problems. And Shauna says,
Oh, Quinn.
poor horny Quinn. What is she gonna do now that Eric can't get aroused? Well, unless she's ready to, give up everything that she just basically got back, I would suggest that instead of revisiting the hot, steamy love with Carter, that she just get herself a rabbit. Call it a day.